Hey friends, welcome back and thanks so much for spending part of your day with me. For those that are new, my name is Amber Michawn and I do weekly DIYs, hauls, and other fun things. So if you enjoy what you see and like crafting on a budget, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so you don't miss an upload. If you're not new, hey doll, hey. Today I have my second round of fall DIYs and I hope you enjoy it. So let's go ahead and jump right in.
Is this what you want now? Feels like you're looking for something better.
For the first DIY, we're going to use this gather word and some reindeer moss. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and cut that reindeer moss down. If you chop it up a little bit, it's easier to work with and you get a lot more usage out of it. Basically, it spreads a lot easier. Then the next thing I'm going to do is just put hot glue directly onto my letters. This is easiest and just dump it into that moss that's on that plate. Super easy. It's less burning of your fingers and much cleaner than having to pack it in there. So I'm going to do that multiple times until all of my letters are covered the way that I want. Sometimes you would have to put hot glue on top of the moss and that's totally fine. But this is how it looks after I've just placed it all on there. Still have to get some little spots that are not covered. So after that, I went ahead and cut down or trimmed down my moss just to give it a cleaner look, and this is what it looks like. I really like it, and it will look great as is, but I'm gonna go ahead and add some beads because I love my beads. I just fish them through a floral wire. Got this pack of floral wire from Walmart for 99 cents, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and use my pliers to curl the sides or the ends so that way the beads don't fall through. And then I am just going to hot glue it to the back of the word. You hot glue it back to the G, the top of the G and the top of the, I think, R. I hot glued down the wire and the last bead that was on the end to give it a better hold. And this is what it looks like. I think it is so pretty. It's so classy and it's just such a nice decor piece, not only for fall, but year round really too. I love the neutral colors. For my second DIY, I'm going to be using this hula skirt or luau, whatever, that I had left over, some beads, this vase, and some more floral wire. First thing you're going to do is separate the hula skirt into sections. So it's 3 of those pieces that are like knotted at the top. They look like lark's head knot. 3 of those go into one bunch. So you're going to have 9 bunches together with 3 pieces each. And then you're going to braid those together. You can have your braid as thick or as thin as you like. It's totally up to you, but I like the thicker look of it. Next, after I finish with that, I'm going to cut them off of the rope, and then I'm going to cut down the flyaway pieces that are there and then hot glue the ends together so I have a cleaner look. I'm going to take my vase and then go ahead and measure out how short I need to cut my now raffia strips. I was going to say strings, but they're not. They're strips. And then hot glue down where I had to cut it off. And then I'm going to take my floral wire again and some beads. I believe it was 8 beads I used for each set of these. I measure it to make sure that it is enough against the raffia, because the raffia is going to be longer than the actual bead length. So then I'm going to go ahead and cut down my floral wire and then hot glue the beads directly next to the raffia. You're going to want all of the beads to touch the raffia so it doesn't peek through, the glass doesn't peek through. And then you're going to take that second raffia piece and hot glue that next to the other side of the beads, making sure that each of the beads touches the raffia. You're going to have to squeeze it together. It's not going to flatten them at all and it's going to look really good. Then I'm going to go ahead and hot glue it to the bottom of this vase. These are what all my pieces look like, and then I just hot glue them all the way around. It's going to kind of look funky while you're doing it, but when you finish, you're going to be super happy with the completed outcome. This is what it looks like. Then just go ahead and tuck all of those raffia tails in, put a generous amount of hot glue on top, and then I am going to use a wood stem to give my look a pumpkin. I then added a leaf on the side of it, and this is just so adorable. I love how the beads give it the groove so it looks like a pumpkin, which is exactly what I was going for. Absolutely love this neutral look. For my next DIY, this is the items you'll need: some dowel rods, a sign, and the Simply Blessed calendar that Dollar Tree has. I went ahead and covered the back with some white computer paper. I really hate all of the glitter that Dollar Tree has on these signs. It's just way too much. Then I went ahead and sanded down the holes to where the twine was at the top, took my dowel rods and measured out on each side how long they needed to be. I think they're all the same size, but I'm always just paranoid that it's not, so I just measured out all sides. Then I cut those down with my hand saw and then sanded down the edges to give them a more of a rounded look. Then I took my calendar and took out the Grateful Hearts one. I think it's the November calendar page. And then I just used a glue stick and put that bad boy onto the back of this sign. I'm starting to really like my glue stick to adhere like paper, because Mod Podge is good, but it's so messy and I always get sticky hands and I always end up ripping my paper. And once I put on my picture, I realized I didn't like the rods that color, so I painted them truffle chalk paint from Waverly, and just used a chunky brush from Dollar Tree, painted them heavy, lightly, whatever you want to call it, because I still wanted the wood color to show through. And then I just hot glued them to the sign. I just did the sides though, because the sign was a little bent, like curved a little bit. So just hot gluing the sides where it touches the sign, and then turning it over to give it more on the side, on the back, so that way it has a little bit more support. And I really, really love this. I added a burlap bow to the front and just some simple twine on the back to hang it up. I love the simplicity of this. And for my last and probably easiest DIY, I am taking 2 of these vases that I picked up from Dollar Tree, some white spray paint, and just spray painting them. I gave them 2 coats over the course of like a couple hours, and then I just put some fall florals in them. Super easy. You can totally add some twine or even like some burlap for like bows. So I really enjoyed doing these DIYs. They were so fun, so simple, and I love just the neutral theme of them. You can totally put them in your house year round. Alright dolls, that's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Alright dolls, I will see you on the next one. Bye!